it's Asha. Welcome back to Reading with Asha. So for today's video, as you can tell by the title, I'm so excited for this video because I've been waiting all year long to do these Christmas book recommendations because I really think that Christmas books can get so repetitive. As much as I love them, they can get very, very repetitive, and I really didn't read a ton of Christmas books. Last year I read a lot, and I can actually confidently tell you which ones I absolutely love. Some of my favorite books probably ever that are not super repetitive and they have a really good Christmas vibes, or they're just Christmas books in general that you guys will hopefully love. That I really haven't heard too much about these ones, but I just really wanted to tell you about them and I'm super excited, so let's get right into it. So I'm gonna do my Christmas book recs and then my Christmas TBR. Only gonna be recommending books that I genuinely really liked. Also, before I start this video, if you have any Christmas book recommendations after the video or right now, go ahead and comment them down below because I'm looking for more Christmas book recs as well. So I only have 3 Christmas books so far that I want to read, so if you have any recommendations, please comment them down below. I'm definitely gonna be watching everyone else's videos, and I know it's not even Thanksgiving yet, but I know that I'm in the Christmas spirit, and I have my little tree up, and I have my little bookshelf gnomes and my blankets, and there's a blanket right here, you can't even see it, and everything. So I'm very excited for it and I want to get right into it, so let's do it. So first of all, let's start off with the Christmas book recommendations. So the first one is probably the first Christmas book that I ever read. I got this from Target. Target has a lot of good Christmas books and they're always like 20% off. This is The 12 Dates of Christmas. I think I read this like 2 years ago during Christmas time and I thought it was really cute. So this is about a girl, her name is Kate, and she's really not in the Christmas mood this year. She's 34 years old, she's not in any type of relationship, and she's kind of just over Christmas, but she's pretty content with her life because she's a designer and she also has a little side job of baking for her friend Matt's little cafe, which is the cutest thing ever. Her best friend signs her up for this dating website where she has to go on 12 dates with 12 different men so she can hopefully find someone to spend Christmas with, but the dates don't really end up going how she wanted them to, and she finds out that the person she was looking for was right in front of her face all this time. This is a really cute little, not childhood friends, but friends to lovers story, and there's an aspect of a cute little Christmas cafe. It's a very Christmassy town, lots of snow, just so many cute things about this book. I probably gave this like a 4 stars, I think, when I read it. I thought it was super cute. It's pretty short. It's like 340 pages, so it's not too long. It's just a romance book, so I would really recommend this one. Picture this. You're snowed in, you can't go outside, or you can't go outside. You're snowed in, you have the windows open, you're watching the snow fall in your living room, you've got your Christmas tree up, you've got your fireplace going, all the lights, your Christmas candles are lit, all the vibes are set, and you're reading a book like this. It's just amazing. I love it. Highly recommend this one. The next one is something that I feel like I've actually heard nobody recommend this as a Christmas book, but I just reread this yesterday. You might have read this when you were in like 5th grade. I just reread it yesterday and I don't know why nobody recommends it as a Christmas book, because it definitely has Christmassy vibes, and that is The Giver by Lois Lowry. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. I think it's Lois. How does nobody recommend this as a Christmas book? I don't want to say why it's a Christmas book because it might spoil some parts of the book, but this book is so short, so easy to read. That's why they usually have you read it when you're in like 5th grade. But if you remember loving this book when you were that young, definitely reread it because you can actually understand, 1, what's going on in the book, and 2, the notions and the little kind of pointers to the fact that Christmas is a thing, because obviously this book is kind of crazy. If you've never read this book, it's about this young boy, his name is Jonas, and he lives in this community where every choice is basically made for you, every decision, everything's set up. You get assigned to a job when you're like 12 years old that you're gonna do for the rest of your life, and everything in this community is perfect. There's like climate control, there's no snow, no rain, no weather. It's crazy. There's no animals. It's a really crazy little thing. Well, when he turns 12 years old, he's assigned to this job of the receiver, which is like the most important job in their little little community because nobody else has this job except for one other person, which is the giver. And the giver is someone who holds every single memory, like all the memories of the past that none of these people in the community have any idea what they are. So like memories of Christmas, memories of music, memories of snow. Nobody knows about any of this except for the giver and then the receiver. The giver transmits these memories into Jonas, and Jonas is expected to hold the memories, and then they can give advice to the council of the community on what to do with certain things because nobody has any clue what these memories are or what holidays are or any of these things except for the giver and the receiver. It's a really short book. It's very, very popular. I think this is one of my favorite books ever, if not my favorite book ever. I absolutely love it so much. It holds such a special place in my heart, and I would highly recommend this for the Christmas season because just the way that things go and the way that it ends, I feel like people will definitely understand what I mean if you read this recently. But if you haven't read this in a really long time and last time you read it was in like 5th grade, you might not remember what happened, or you might not have understood what happened. I know that I didn't when I read it, but I really, really love this book, and it's only like 170 pages, so it's super easy to read, and I personally think it brought me so much joy. It was really good for the Christmas season. I know that's gonna sound so random, but honestly, I think this was a good Christmas recommendation. The next books that I'm going to recommend is actually a series, and I don't have the physical copies because I borrowed them from my grandma last year. And that is the Winter Street series by Ellen Hildebrand. If you've never read anything by Ellen Hildebrand, she's a literary fiction author, and her books are written in third-person point of view, which never really bugged me. I know that bugs some people. I love her books. There's always so many different characters and so many different things going on with the different characters. And all of her books are based in Nantucket, which is a really, really pretty little island on the coast of Massachusetts, I think. And Nantucket is beautiful all times of year, but in Christmas it's just so much more beautiful because there's so much snow because it is on the East Coast. And there's so many different things that are actually in the books that happen in real life all the time. Like there's this thing called Winter Stroll. But basically the Winter Street series is a 4-book series, and they're all fairly short, I think. I remember reading them so fast last year. I read all of them in like a week or two. So good. I absolutely love them. There's like different aspects of romance. So most of her books are about families, or a couple of her books are about families, but this is about the Quinn family. The father, his name is Kelly. He owns this inn called the Winter Street Inn, and they do all this really cute Christmas stuff. He has 4 kids, Patrick, Kevin, Ava, and Bart. Bart is a part of the Marines, so he is like not home for Christmas, and his mom, he has a different mom than the rest of the kids, but they're kind of just waiting for him to come home. Her name is Mitzi, and this is Kelly's new wife, I think, or new girlfriend, and she is caught literally sleeping with the Santa Claus that comes to their inn and passes out presents and everything like that, so it's kind of awkward. That's how the book starts off. This series has a ton of family drama, but it's also super heartwarming, and the whole aesthetic and environment of the series is just so amazing, and it just made it one of my favorite Christmas series ever. If you liked her books before, if you've read any of her books and you did like them, you would definitely love this series. I would highly recommend reading this one, or if you've never read anything by her before, definitely start with this or check it out at least because it's really good. And if you like the first book, you can get the rest of them. Also, they sell a lot of the books on Amazon. You can get them used like new and get them a couple dollars off as well, but I don't think that they're that much anyways. But I really, really love this series. Again, there's 4 different books, all super cute, and I don't hear a lot of people recommend them, but they deserve way more hype. The next book is probably my favorite Christmas book that I've ever read, but I don't know, it's kind of tied with the Winter Street series, and that is A Princess for Christmas by Jenny Holiday. I got this at Target as well, as you can see. I got this like 2 years ago, but I never ended up reading this, and I did read it last year, and I loved it so much. If you like Bridgerton or The Selection or anything that has to do with princesses or anything like that, you would totally love this book. A main character in this book's name is Leo, and he's already has a super busy life with taking care of his little sister. He lives in a little apartment in the Bronx. He's a taxi driver, and one day he picks up Princess Marie of Eldovia, which, you know, those little Christmas countries series that have princesses and stuff are always just the best. They develop a little friendship because he becomes her like personal cab driver while she's in New York City, and then him and his little sister end up spending Christmas in Aldovia with her, which is so magical. I would highly recommend this book. I probably gave it above a 4 stars, maybe like a 4.5 or a 5. I just remember loving this book so much and reading it right before Christmas, and I would highly recommend this book. I haven't heard too many people talk about it, but I really liked it. I thought it was super cute, funny, and I always love little kids in books. Like, I just think they add so much more, especially when the book has something to do with Christmas. I think that they add so much more to the book, so I would really recommend this one. Again, it is A Princess for Christmas by Jenny Holiday. Those are the 7 book recommendations that I have for you to read this Christmas season, but now I'm going to tell you the books that I want to read this Christmas season, and some of these have to do with the book that I just talked about, so I'll talk about those first. Also, you could probably find the first and the last one that I talked about at Target or Barnes & Noble. You can definitely find the Ellen Hildebrand series at Barnes & Noble, and then The Giver you could probably get at a thrift store or a used bookstore. I got this at a used bookstore for like $2. It's a mass market copy. You can get all of these on Amazon, but this one is like only $4 on Amazon too. So far, I have 3 books that I want to read this year. If you guys have any recommendations, again, please comment them down below. But the first one I want to read is called Duke Actually, which is also by Jenny Holiday, and this is the second book in the A Princess for Christmas kind of little trilogy. It's kind of like side characters, I think, that have a love story romance in this book because they were introduced in that book. I'll just read the back of this book so you guys can get a little knowledge on what it's about if you want to get this when you get the other one if you want to read it. Meet the Man of Honor. Maximilian von Hansberg, Baron of Loudon and heir to the Duke of Aquila, is not having a Merry Christmas. He's been dumped by a princess, he's unemployed, and his domineering father has sent him to New York to meet a prospective bride that he has no interest in. In the city, he meets Danny Martinez, a smart and gorgeous professor, and he's determined to befriend her before their best friends marry in the Aldovian wedding. So he's the best friend of the girl, I think, the princess in that book. So they're gonna get, oh wait, so he's like the best friend. This is about the man of honor and the best woman from that book. Okay, so it says newly single, no nonsense New Yorker Danny is done with love. She's even written a list entitled Things I Will Never Do Again for a Man. Okay. Which is why she hits it off with the notorious rake Max. He's the perfect partner for snow angels in Central Park in deep conversations about the futility of love. It's all fun and games until their friendship deepens into attraction. But oops, falling in love was never part of the plan. I'm really excited to read this. Very excited for this because I love a little royal romance, especially when it's Christmas. And then there's a 3rd book in the series, so I got that too off of Amazon, of course. I wasn't planning on getting the physical copies of these books. I was actually just planning on getting them from my library and borrowing them, but the wait was like 5 weeks, and I was like, bro, there's no way. This is about Matteo Benz, who has spent his life serving at the pleasure of the Aldovian crown. He is tasked to aid a management consultant who has been flown in to help straighten out the king's affairs. He's instantly disturbed by her brash American manner, as well as by an inconvenient attraction to the brainy beauty. Cara Delaney is in Aldovia to help modernize the royal family's company, but she soon finds herself at odds with the very proper Mr. Benz. As intrigued by his good looks as she is annoyed by his dedication to tradition for its own sake, she slowly begins to see the real man behind the royal throne. As they work together to return Aldovia to its former glory during the country's magical Christmas season, Matteo discovers he is falling hopelessly in love with the unconventional American. But a man who has devoted his life to tradition doesn't change easily. Can he become the man Kara needs, or will their love be another sacrifice to the crown? Both of these look really good. Again, I love a little royal Christmas story mixed between someone who is not royal and, you know, like a princess or something. I absolutely love it, so I'm very excited to read these books. I can't wait. Actually, I might start reading one like next week. The last book that I want to read is Christmas at Silver Falls by Jenny Hale. Why are all these Christmas female authors named Jenny? Is that weird? Because this is Jenny Holiday, the other one is Jenny Bayless, and this one is Jenny Hale. Isn't that so weird? I don't know. But anyways, I haven't read any books by this author. I tried to start reading this book last year and I just couldn't get into it, but I literally got barely into it at all, so it's really not a big deal. I feel like it's not because I didn't like it, I just wasn't really paying attention. So I'm really excited to read this year. It's called Christmas at Silver Falls. It's about a girl named Scarlett Bailey, and ever since she was a little girl, White Oaks Inn has been the heart of her Christmas. Each holiday, her grandmother fills the old-fashioned hotel with the scents of cinnamon and chocolate, but this year will be the Bailey's last Christmas there, unless Scarlett can convince Charlie Bryant, a handsome, successful property developer, to invest in her beloved inn. Charlie's plans for the holidays don't include getting involved with the people of Silver Falls, no matter how determined Scarlett is to show him the importance of the White Oaks Inn to the guests who return every year. But neither business-minded Charlie nor impulsive Scarlett can deny sleigh bells ring when they meet. As they spend time together amid much-loved traditions of baking cookies and decorating the tree, I love traditions like that, Scarlett begins to realize that despite his gruff exterior, Charlie has a lot of love to give. But can she convince him to open his heart to the true meaning of Christmas before the inn is lost forever? I'm pretty sure this author has other Christmas books as well, but that sounds pretty good to me. So I'm excited to read these. I'm really excited to read these two, but I'm kind of excited to read the last one. I think I also downloaded the audiobook of it, so maybe I'll listen to some of that. I've heard that One Day in December is really good, and I know Holidays by Christina Lauren is very good too. So I'm gonna look on my library and see if I can get those, or if either of them are on Kindle Unlimited. Or if you have any recommendations that are specifically on Kindle Unlimited, that would be great, because I definitely want to utilize my Kindle and not buy a ton of books. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for all of your love and support. I think I'm going to make a really fun video very soon of a Christmas wish list, but book edition. So all the books that I want to ask for Christmas this year, instead of just putting books in general, because I usually make a Christmas wish list on my main channel, which is Asha Zaf, and I want to make one that's just specifically for books this year, so you guys can see what I'm asking for, what I'm interested in reading this year. And yeah, I'm really excited about it, so thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!